Welcome to Echoes of Faith, where stories of hope, grace, and redemption come to life. Each story is a journey of faith, a testament to the power of God's love, and a reminder that no one is ever too far from His grace. Every note Taylor played carried a question. Who am I? Where do I truly belong? She had loving parents, friends, and dreams that soared, yet her heart longed for something more. In Harmony Found, the next story in the Echoes of Faith series, we follow a daughter's prayer, a mother's longing, and the music that finally brought them home to one another. Taylor Booker, a 21-year-old from Nashville, Tennessee, was determined to chase her dreams with every fiber of her being. Studying music in college, she had a passion for singing and playing the piano. An integral part of her church choir, her lively laughter and outgoing nature made her the center of attention at any gathering. Her friends treasured her company, and she always had a circle of people around her. Growing up in a nurturing household with two loving parents, Taylor was always aware of her adoption. Despite being happy with her life, she couldn't shake the longing to discover her biological roots and unravel the mystery of her birth. After mustering up the courage, she expressed her desire to find her birth parents and understand why they gave her up for adoption. Despite David and Lily's reassurance and support, the reality of their search hit them hard when she discovered that the adoption records were sealed, and the First Step agency, where she was adopted, had shut down, along with sealed adoption records. Taylor spent hours sitting at her desk, combing through piles of paperwork and folders, determined to find even the smallest hint or lead. But with each new search, her expression grew more disappointed as she came up empty-handed. "How is it going?" her mother asked, sticking her head in the room. She sighed and looked at her mother with frustration written all over her face. "I feel like I'm getting nowhere," she expressed. "All I want is to understand my roots." Lily's hand fell gently on Taylor's shoulder, offering comfort. "I know it's not easy," she said softly, "but we'll figure it out." Sometimes, the journey to finding answers is a long and winding one. Despite facing challenges, Taylor refused to give up on her journey to discover her true identity. She found comfort in prayer, asking for divine guidance in uncovering the truth about her biological parents. Several months had passed since Taylor first started her search for her biological parents. Despite numerous dead ends and unreturned calls, she refused to give up hope. She continued to pray for guidance and believed that one day she would find the answers she was seeking. One Sunday after choir practice, Taylor was packing up her sheet music when Pastor Thomas Rand approached her with a gentle smile. He was a figure of wisdom and compassion at their church, and Taylor always felt comforted in his presence. "Hi, Taylor," he said warmly. "Can I have a word with you?" "Of course, Pastor Rand," Taylor replied, curious as to why he wanted to speak with her. "I heard from your parents about your search for your birth parents," he said gently, "and I may have some information that could help you." Taylor's heart skipped a beat at his words. "Really? What is it?" she asked eagerly. "My wife works at the county records office, and she told me that they recently found some old adoption records," he explained. "They were displaced during an office renovation, but have now been recovered. There may be records from First Step." "That's amazing," Taylor exclaimed, feeling a spark of hope ignite within her. "Do you think they could be mine?" She glanced up. "The Lord does answer prayers." Pastor Rand nodded. "We won't know until we look at them together," he replied kindly. Overwhelmed with emotions, Taylor thanked him profusely for his help before rushing off to tell her parents the good news. Together with Pastor Rand, they went to the county records office the following week and pored over the newly discovered adoption records. After several hours of searching, they finally found one that matched all of Taylor's information. Tears welled up in Taylor's eyes as she read through the file and discovered details about her biological parents, their names, ages, occupations, and even a photo of them taken when she was born. "It's them," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. The week after finding her biological parents' information, Lily and David drove Taylor to Lorraine's home. "Are you sure you're ready for this, sweetheart?" Lily asked, placing a comforting hand on Taylor's shoulder. Taylor nodded, her eyes fixed on the door of Lorraine's house. "I've been waiting for this moment my whole life," she said determinedly. As they walked towards the door, it suddenly swung open and a woman appeared. She had short black hair, styled in a bob cut, and beautiful brown eyes that looked straight at Taylor. In that instant, both women knew this was Lorraine. Without saying a word, Lorraine pulled Taylor into a tight hug, tears streaming down both their faces. It felt like an eternity before either of them let go. "I can't believe it's really you," Lorraine whispered through tears, looking her up and down. Taylor could only nod in response as she took in every detail of her birth mother's face, the same eyes she had inherited, the same nose and smile she saw in old photos of herself growing up. They moved into the living room. Finally, Lorraine spoke up. "I have thought about you every day since I gave you up for adoption," she said softly. "I always hoped that one day we would meet again." Tears welled up in Taylor's eyes as she reached out to take Lorraine's hand. "Me too." Lorraine's voice trembled as she spoke. "I just want you to know that not a day goes by where I don't regret the decision we made to give you up." She quickly wiped away a tear that had escaped her eye. She looked over at Taylor with sadness in her eyes. "I'm sorry for everything you've been through. But you have blossomed into a beautiful young lady." Taylor choked up. "Your father, may his soul rest in peace, passed away a year ago. He also had a love for music," Lorraine revealed. "He played the guitar with such emotion, as if it were a part of him. Music was our way of communicating, the rhythm that brought us together." Taylor felt a sense of loss at the news of her father's passing, but at the same time, she was grateful for the opportunity to know more about him. As they chatted into the wee hours, Taylor discovered more about her parents' past. Lorraine and Shane were high school sweethearts who loved making music together. They dreamed of starting a band, but when Lorraine got pregnant with Taylor, their plans got derailed. Their folks weren't keen on their relationship or music dreams, so they convinced Lorraine and Shane to give up Taylor for adoption. It broke their hearts, but they believed it was best for Taylor, so they reluctantly agreed. As Taylor listened to her mother reminisce about her life before she was born, she couldn't help but feel a connection to this woman who gave her life, someone who understood her on a deeper level than anyone else ever could. Several hours later, as Taylor bid farewell to Lorraine, she felt a newfound sense of completeness, her heart filled with gratitude for the journey that had led her to this moment of discovery. The Lord had answered her prayer, and she was thankful. The next morning, Taylor found herself at her dad's grave. As she stood there, tears rolled down her cheeks while she gently placed flowers on his headstone. "I wish I could have met you," she whispered softly. In that moment, Taylor felt a strong connection to her dad, even though they'd never met. She realized that his love for music still lived on in her. It wasn't just about finding out where she came from. It was about sharing a special bond through the music they both loved, even after he passed away. Every prayer, every unanswered question had carried Taylor to this moment of grace. In finding her family, she also found herself and the melody of God's love that had been playing all along. This was Harmony Found. Stay tuned for the next story in the Echoes of Faith series, where new journeys of hope and redemption await, reminding us that every heart still has a song worth hearing.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, no matter what fires we face, faith will always carry us through. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave a comment. Subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. This is Echoes of Faith, where every story brings hope. If today's story moved you, be sure to discover more heartfelt journeys in the Echoes of Faith series and uplift your spirit. Don't miss out on the next chapter. There's always more to uncover.